Hi everyone, my name's Jamie. Someone over on Reddit asked me to explain how I built this Maya-inspired temple in The Sims 4. I built this in Selva Dorada. It is the world that comes with Jungle Adventure. I was inspired by the temple at Chichén Itzá, as well as other temples like that. The one at Chichén Itzá is known as the Temple of Kukulkan, also sometimes referred to as the Temple of the Feathered Serpent, sometimes also referred to as El Castillo. This is a fairly standard Maya stepped pyramid. People were wondering, though, how I did the Talud Tablero. The Talud Tablero is essentially those steps. It's a little different because in real Maya architecture, the talud is a little bit slanted, but the tablero is flat. So I start by making two boxes. They're both tall wall height, and for this one I put on little bump outs on each side for the stairs. You don't have to do the bump out. I just kind of liked how it looked with the stairs sticking out a little bit more, but you can play around and figure out how you want to do it. I also put down this flooring. You don't have to. Once again, I do it just because I think it makes it a little bit easier when it comes to like moving things around, as well as I also like the way it breaks up. And then you're going to go and you are going to build another wall. And this wall, you're going to line it up with just right behind where the stairs would break apart, would like disrupt the stairs. So you're right behind the stairs. You're as far as you can go. And then you're going to start using platforms to create the tablero, the talud and tablero steps, essentially. I made each of mine the height of two of these wall decor items that come from Jungle Adventure. If you don't have Jungle Adventure, I'm assuming you can find anything in the base game you can use to create your own measurements. If you have Jungle Adventure, you can also probably do this, 3 tall, 1 tall. It's up to you. Once you kind of learn how to do this, it's pretty easy to kind of change it up to make it to match what you would like it to be. So here I'm creating just kind of playing around with different wall heights to figure out how to properly get it to be too tall, like two of these decor items tall, not too tall as in like being too tall. Anyway, sorry. This is probably going to take you a little playing around, but I think it's worth it. Once you also complete this part, if you want, you can copy these half walls and platforms to create it and like paste it on other sides of the temple. I will find that there's sometimes little glitches with that. Sometimes the platforms disappear. It's not the end of the world, but it can be confusing if you are looking at going, what, something's wrong. But once again, you just kind of play around with the different heights until you get the height you want. And then you lift up the platforms, and there you go. You have your talud tablero kind of style temples. Sometimes you'll also see these temples referred to as pyramids. This is something some Maya scholars don't quite like, because a pyramid technically was first used to describe what we see the pyramids in Egypt, the pyramids of Giza, and the pyramids in Mesoamerica, especially those of the ancient Maya, do not act like temples or the pyramids in Egypt. Most of these are going to be religious spaces, where you go up these stairs up to a temple at the top. Ideologically, they're very different also. Most pyramids in ancient Egypt are tombs. Most pyramids in for the Maya are, like I said, these religious spaces. For the Maya, they actually use the word mul to refer to temples. Or these, because mul is also the name for mountain, because they saw these as almost like an artificial mountain. There are some like pyramidal forms in Mesoamerica that do have burials in them, but that's pretty rare. Another thing, when I built mine, I did not put anything on the inside because the inside generally would not have been accessible to the ancient Maya. But what they would have done is they would have built these over older temples, which is why you sometimes can hear about Maya temples being almost like Russian nesting dolls, or this idea that there's another temple within it. Those temples generally would not have been accessible. Like this one is, like I said, inspired by the one at Chichén Itzá. And that one in the 1930s, archaeologists did dig a hole so that they could go inside the temple to get archaeological data from the earlier temple. But for my own gameplay, I didn't think that was very important or useful, especially since I was building this as a museum. All right, so once you have your platforms ready like this, you're going to go ahead and you're going to create 2 squares on either side of the staircase. And then you're going to use half walls once again just to lift it up a little. And then you're going to take a roof and you're going to tuck in the eaves on both sides. You're going to place it at the bottom of your stairs and then you're going to lift it out. Here you can use the Alt key to adjust it as needed. I find this is a really great way to get that look that we find with a lot of Maya temples. As you look forward closely though, you'll see there is a gap that kind of starts at where the first wall there that you built kind of starts and ends. I'm sure there might be ways around this. I haven't figured it out yet. So instead, I'm just going to put up some half walls here on the side. And then we're going to use those same kind of wall decor items from this pack to fill in the area. Those items are, they snap to the wall. You can use Alt key to kind of lift and raise them as needed, but I find putting the half walls are really helpful because they just snap to it naturally, and then you can, move them around as you need, as you'll see here in a second. Building as you see here, I'm just gonna put them on the side here, and I'm gonna use, there's different shaped ones. There's some that have this kind of like broken off edge, and I think they're really good for helping fill in those spaces while creating the angle you need for the stairs. Like I said, I'm sure if I played around with a little bit more with the stairs, I could have maybe found a way to get the stairs to work without this clipping, but I couldn't figure it out in a way that I liked how it looked. This is what to me looked the most normal to what I was recreating. And the best part of this too is once you complete this and you have all the gaps filled in, if you see a part of this half wall that's sticking out annoyingly, you can use different roof trims to try to hide it. If it's still not hiding, you can even probably just delete the half wall, and the roof piece, those like wall pieces you put there generally stay in place. So there's a lot of room to kind of decorate this and move things around to your, to match how you want your Maya temple to look. But yeah, once you get this done, like I said, you can just click on the pieces and copy them, like the pieces being the platforms you've made. Like I said, it can be a little glitchy sometimes, but it does save time. Or if you just enjoy it, you can probably just keep building it. The first time I did it, that's definitely what I did. And then halfway realized I was like, oh, I could just be copying and saving myself some time. I find also when building things like this, it's really good just to experiment sometimes. Like feel free, like what I was doing, I was placing a bunch of different items down, figuring out different ways to do it. And once you kind of figure out how you want it done, it gets a lot easier. So, but as you see here, it comes together pretty quickly. I also recommend putting things down like the wallpapers and the floor tiles last, just because when you're playing with the different platforms and you're lifting up, putting different heights and stuff, it can sometimes erase the wallpapers and tiles you've already put down. And then once you get to the bottom here, you can extend it out as far as you want. Like I said, it's really up to you, the look you're going for. I also put some half walls and lifted up a platform at the bottom of my stairs, and then put the llama gargoyles from the Castle Estate kit to try to recreate that look with the dragon, with the feathered serpent, essentially. So, yep, that is how I created this. Hopefully this tutorial was super helpful. You can also download this off the gallery if you want. My username is just my name, jaymehorne. You can also just look it up. It's the Temple of Totekalama. But here you're going to see how you can just kind of copy and paste. Sometimes I would recommend doing both sides before copy and pasting. I only did one side, but that's because I just wanted to show you guys how easy it is. I was kind of messing around here, figuring out how to properly size everything, because the temple ends up being a lot bigger than you think it is, especially compared to the usable space you have. But that's also one of the fun things about this. You can make the top as tall or as small as you want. Like I said, I had made mine initially like a 6x6 for this demo. The one I built and put on the gallery is bigger. I don't remember how big it is though, but you can make them as big and wide as you want, essentially. There is kind of nothing stopping you from creating the temple of your dreams. And I find it's also very helpful to put down the stairs on each side so you can figure out how it locks down. I also find going above on PC is a really good way to get this placed properly. And as you see there's some issues where things aren't lining up properly, platforms aren't raising up. They're easy fixes. They're annoying, but they're easy. So yeah, that is the tutorial. Hopefully this was helpful for anyone who is looking to learn how to make your own Maya inspired temple. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys on the Reddit threads and see what other great things you're building. All right, bye.